The very last Boeing 747 will be delivered to Atlas Air tomorrow for use as a cargo plane. Say it ain't so. For more than 50 years, the 747 has been praised for broadening air travel and bridging wide distances. Kris Van Cleave went to the plant north of Seattle that built the final 747 and met some of the people who've spent generations working on it.
Pan Am will bring you the world's first 747.
Even before Boeing's 747 flew its first passengers back in 1970, the world knew this was something special.
So what do you think? Still intimidating.
And from day one, the Anderson family has quite literally had their hands on nearly every single 747 built, working on the production line in Everett, Washington. Andy Anderson was a supervisor on the prototype. His son Vic is now a lead mechanic on the last one, and about 875 before it.
He turned them on, and I'll be turning them off. It means a lot to our family, really.
We were there in December as Vic took his dad to see the final assembly of the final Queen of the Skies, just days before it rolled off the line, took its first test flight, and got bathed in about 120 gallons of paint ahead of its final delivery tomorrow.
I'm going to miss it. I already miss it.
Back in 1969, Andy Anderson was back in this same plant as they built the world's first jumbo jet, twice the size of the largest airliner to date.
It crossed everybody's mind whether it was going to get off the ground or not.
When you saw that first one fly, what went through your mind?
It gave you goosebumps. Everybody wanted to fly 47. They still do, right?
And for more than 5 decades, its 4 engines have carried millions of travelers, 6 presidents, and even the space shuttle across the country and around the world. But newer, more fuel-efficient planes with 2 engines are bringing about the end of the 747. Mike Lombardi is Boeing's historian.
This airplane marks the point in history, first time that any person on planet Earth could get on an airplane and fly.
It democratized air travel.
Absolutely. You could say that it shrunk the world.
Boeing engineers thought this mid-century engineering marvel would only fly passengers for a decade before supersonic planes like the Concorde became the norm. They designed the 747 to live on as a freighter, which is how it got that iconic hump, allowing for a nose that could open to load cargo. So it's fitting the final 747 is a freighter that'll be delivering for years to come.
After building 1,574 747s, this marks the end of the line for the Queen of the Skies.
For the Andersons,
what a bird. I never thought I would outlast her. She's still the queen.
It's a bit like saying goodbye to a part of the family. For CBS Mornings, I'm Kris Van Cleave in Everett, Washington.
And we thank those teams that built those planes for all those years.